What's going on, guys? Just here live at the warehouse still on a Saturday. It's about 4 o'clock, and I have a mobile mechanic outside working on a truck of mine, or else I probably wouldn't be here still. Just kind of waiting. He's doing like pretty much a tune-up, so he's doing spark plugs, maybe coil packs, stuff like that. But I just thought I'd jump on live and see what everybody's doing on Saturday. This isn't the funnest thing, but you own a business, so you kind of got to do what's not fun. But I wanted to come on here and kind of talk about the fall season that's coming up. So we're getting a lot of inquiries about aeration, dethatching, seeding. Honestly, a lot of landscape stuff. We haven't done we have not done any landscape pretty much all year. We've done a little bit. This year I kind of decided to get out of it. I don't have the manpower right now. It's just me and then a couple guys that I know that will help. Like last weekend we did a big rock job. Today we did another half of that rock job that they added. So we'll do stuff like that. But this year I haven't taken on any, like, I used to take on retaining walls, patios, ponds, a lot of just like, not little stuff, but edging, like brick edging or like a natural edge, stuff like that. But this year I kind of just cut it out. I focused really on mowing, and I think in the most part it turned out better for me. It wasn't like anything happened in landscaping. There were a few jobs that kind of screwed me over on price, and then if there's little problems, everybody knows this in every business. If you go back to a job, that's where you start losing money. Initially, if you do this bid, it's $4K. Your materials, overhead, everything's $1,500. You're gonna make that, but if you have to go back 2 times, send guys out there, buy different stuff, then you're down to 1K, and then you're really not making money at that point, to be honest. That's a part where I have to kind of sit down, get better guys, get more efficient, kind of work out, because I don't want to be. I used to be try to be like a jack of all trades in this, where I do anything from like hallways to, like I said, ponds at one point. Just anything to get me money, which I think everybody does when they first start. But I'm over that. I don't need to do that anymore necessarily. I have enough mowing and good mowing accounts, so we do about, I'd say 80% residential and 20% commercial, but that 20% makes up probably 60% of our income on the mowing side. So they're big accounts, they're huge. Obviously you can kind of hit mowing more, or hit commercials more mowing. And they have a lot of up selling points. So like, if just this past week I had a guy weeding out a bunch of beds on a commercial site that we have that was like 12 man hours. So it's a good upsell. I make good money off that. I make good money off garden maintenance, stuff like that. So ideally, I'd like to get to all commercial. I think everybody's goal is kind of that, because there is so much upselling it. Really with commercial, if they want it done, they're gonna do it, versus like a residential that, if Mrs. Jones wants our new rock bed and the husband kind of can live without it, and it's kind of like, it depends on price at that point, where a lot of my commercials are, hey, we want this done. Excuse me. We want this done. Let me know when you can fit it in, kind of thing. So I kind of reposition this a little bit. Yeah, so I am gonna sit down. Sorry, I keep looking out there. It's a window, and a lot of people pull into our drive and then turn around for some reason. So, but I'm gonna sit down, kind of, and really think about. I went to a meeting the other day downtown in Des Moines, and it was kind of a how to grow your business, how to sell your business, how to exit, what to do to plan to exit, and a lot of it, honestly, I didn't take away because a lot of it was about selling. I'm not in the position to sell or even thought about selling, but you got pulled out to do a one-on-one with the guy who basically buys companies, and I kind of asked him about when to pull the trigger on minimizing your business. So, like snow removal, that's a big thing. Is honestly, I don't want to do residential snow removal anymore. I don't want to lose the residents for the summer because a lot of them I mow for, I do snow for. But to me, I mean, even with price raises and stuff, I don't know. It's just not worth it. It's not worth being out an extra 8 hours. It's not worth the headaches. Residential are so picky, which is fine. You should be good enough at what your service that you shouldn't get callbacks, but everybody does. And there's a lot of variables in snow removal that a snow removal person cannot help. So, such as if they're on a 2-inch trigger and it snowed 1 inch twice that week. And then on Friday it snows 3 inches. Well, if they're driving on that 1 inch the whole week, it's going to be super icy. A lot of people don't want ice melt on their driveway. They think it's going to pit their cement and stuff. But then we'll kind of get upset when there's kind of a layer of ice where their tire marks were in. Obviously, we don't charge and kind of expect there to be that in ways. In ways we do. Obviously, I know that's what's going to happen. That's why I kind of put people on a 1 inch instead of a 2 inch. But we don't charge to go out there with a pick and just sit there and pick the ice the whole time. So, but things like that, I mean, anything residential is good. I've made so many connections, so many people that are the nicest people. They are so personable. I'm personable with them. Would kind of do anything for you, but at the end of the day, if you do one thing they really don't like, they're going with someone else. They're gonna complain. You could bend over backwards for a lot of people. Not saying this is all people, but if you do one little thing, I mean, they will kind of go off the wall. So I've also learned this year that I've dropped a ton of people, and that was mainly on purpose. Some of them, I mean, I'd quote them at a good number, I'd get them in the schedule, and then it just eventually would not make sense for us to go out there and do it, like in different towns that are 20 minutes away and we don't have anything in there. But we do have some that are 15s, but then that's 8 minutes of that one. But at the time, okay, yeah, we'll grab it, whatever. During the season, it doesn't make sense though, because if we're out 15 minutes away, say 12 minutes away, doing 5 yards, it's 5 o'clock. The guy really, nobody wants to drive. I know it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but 8 minutes out of your way, go do this one, 30, 35 minutes, whatever it is. And now you're 22 minutes away from the shop instead of the 14 or 15. And it really does make a difference on drive time and stuff. So this year we've really, and honestly, I don't do any marketing, crazy marketing. I don't do any, the only really marketing I do is my trucks. My building has my name on it, obviously. And word of mouth. And then I run some ads like all year long. Nothing crazy specific, nothing like fall cleanups and stuff. Just our name's always out there. But our density just keeps getting going, getting more dense. We're now like a 2-mile radius. We have probably 40 accounts. So it's really good. And I should probably double down on that, but it all comes with time. I mean, right now I'm owner operator, so I own it, I run it, I mow, I landscape. I have some guys, my brother, a couple of brothers and a buddy that'll help me sometimes, but I have had some good leads come in for landscaping these past 2 weeks, and kind of works out because again, I don't advertise anything, I don't do none of that stuff, and they make sense. They're close, or they're for existing customers, and they're not crazy technical. That's where I'd like to do $10,000, $15,000 jobs, but I can't afford, obviously myself, to be at a site for a month when we mow like 100 and something accounts. I do. So that doesn't make sense for me now. I could hire somebody, yes. I did have a guy that was full time. He left, went to a new city, and the mowing, a lot of people say mowing isn't profitable. If you run it right, if you're efficient, if you're dense, it can be as profitable as any landscape thing you do, promise. Especially when you're going back and back and back to those jobs, and oh, well, we're only gonna go back and spray this bed quick and blow off the driveway because it wasn't really that clean. Well, there's an hour of drive time for a guy, an hour there. Say you're paying him 20, that's $40, you're out. And then you could be potentially losing from a different job that's not making you anything at all. Obviously you're making the customer happy, you're wrapping up the job, but you could be, even small jobs like the other day I ran out, I just edged the yard, took probably 6 minutes at the most. And I charged $60, and I know the guy was kind of like, whoa, but I mean, time's money. I have the equipment, obviously they don't. I have the experience, I can do it fast. Edging's not hard, I know that. But afterwards, he gave me a $20 tip because I was nice, I was personal, I explained stuff. And I did it good and efficient and fast, and I don't know. Just those jobs are, obviously everybody wants those to be their bread and butter, but I've really went away from landscaping, and I'm kind of getting back into it a little bit. I don't want to jump head first, because what happens, I usually mow 7 days a week. It's really dry here now, so stuff isn't growing. That's why I'm kind of picking up more landscape jobs. But when it's growing season, I'm doing nothing but mowing and sleeping, mowing, sleeping, mowing, sleeping. And now that we're getting into fall, I have been contemplating doing some, oh crap, oh god, I accidentally kicked the thing. Doing some bigger, I have like 2 big landscape jobs, because what we do obviously is like aerations, dethatching you can, landscaping, obviously you can do any landscaping in the fall. But a big thing is leaf cleanups here and everywhere, I'm sure. And they're not bad, but with one guy, they're kind of a lot. And there's a lot of moving parts to a leaf cleanup. We run a billy goat leaf vacuum, and then a mower with a bag around it. Backpack blowers, you have some guys that have to rake and put the leaves into the billy goat. That shoots into the trailer, and someone has to go dump that trailer. And right now, at this moment, we have 2 trailers. We're thinking about selling one of them, but it would be nice to just swap those trailers out, keep going during the day, because usually I can only do like 2 leaf cleanups a day, and it's really honestly more about I don't have the room in the trailer to do more else I would. Then every morning you're going out to the dump, dumping the leaves, getting back. Even if you go out there at 6:30, you're not back till 8:30. And I don't have a dump trailer yet. It's another thing I've been contemplating with, with getting out of mowing. The only really thing I'd use a dump trailer for is leaves, and on average we maybe do 40 leaf cleanups a year, 50 if that. I don't know if it's really worth it, to be honest. I mean, it's not. It's terrible hand unloading them. I don't like it, but it paid itself back in a year and in a leaf season easily. But it's just something like, okay, I'm gonna buy a dump trailer, and I will eventually. I mean, even if I got out of leaf cleaning, I'd probably get a dump trailer eventually. It is nice to have, but when money's tighter, when you're first starting, this is my 4th year, have no loans, no borrowed money, anything like that. So I've built everything on cash, and you do a couple jobs, you buy something, you sell something, you do a couple jobs, all that money you buy new things. So this point in my career as a 4th season, it's the first year where I've actually had good spending money, but now my mind is kind of on different things outside of the business in a way. And now I have everything we need. It's just about upgrading everything. So I have all the equipment. I have multiple ways to carry a mower, multiple trailers, multiple vehicles, things that a lot of other people don't have. I have multiple aerators, all that stuff, dethatchers. But now it's, okay, well, if we're only dethatching 8 times a year, should I even offer that service? I mean, not a lot of people do dethatching. It's good money when we do it, but it's not I don't think a lot of people know the difference between aeration and dethatching. And everybody just thinks they need to aerate and never dethatch, which, whatever, each your own might be true. But also dethatching for us is a lot more expensive than aerating. It's because you have to pick up all thatch. You have to, usually, well, we want them to mow before, but if it's not, we'll mow it first. Obviously, we charge for a mow, then we dethatch, then we bag it again. And then you have to go in and kind of hand detail rake it. And then you have to dump all the thatch. Like, it's all a huge thing, so I don't know. I'm gonna offer it this year, but it's not something that is very concrete. That looked really weird. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk to you guys for a little bit about some ideas. I'm gonna be going live here a little bit more often as things dry up, and I get to work on more like the mechanics here now, kind of getting vehicles in line. He's actually working on my plow truck, has a misfire, so he's doing stuff with that. Let me see. He's doing stuff with that right now. And I'm going to, I'm waiting for him to get done. It's 4 o'clock right now on the dot. I think I'm gonna grab my Billy Goat leaf back, because it was kind of, I don't know, I think the oil needs change, stuff like that. It kind of ran bad at the end of the year last year, so I'm gonna pull that out. Mess with that a little bit, kind of get ready for leaf season, because I'll be here before you know it, probably another month. There's maybe a month of mowing left. And get that ready. I gotta figure out too, on the trailer that I pull mainly, I want to make a bracket so it sits up and can shoot in there. Right now, what I did like last year is I just got that last year. Talk about growing. That was a huge thing that I bought. I would just kind of, which I'm sure you guys look back at the videos, you'll see, but it's really makeshift setup. I would just set it in the back of the trailer and shoot it in, and I don't know, a couple of times like the exhaust would get so hot, leaves would get on it and it'd like burn the leaves, so I don't want to start my trailer on fire this year. But that is a necessity with leaf cleanups. I mean, you can do it. I've did it for 3 years without one. I obviously made it. I'm not dead. I'm not crying. But that's a huge thing to pick up, is a leaf vac. And then I just got to organize this warehouse. I'll show you. Sitting on my desk. Like this room, we converted this room. Just split it half. Here's a bunch of ice melt. but there's like a bed in here. My brother who shares this with me, this warehouse, is a truck driver, hence these huge tires. So sometimes when they do routes, they come here and sleep for a second if they need to. But here's the Billy Goat. It's obviously used, very used when I got it. But everybody starts somewhere. Here's one of the aerators. And then there's one of the power rigs. So here's kind of a fall lineup right here. And then there's random stuff. That bagger I got for free from a guy that I bought this, and for some reason he gave me that too. I don't know why. Then there's some snow blowers, a tiller, a little mower that never gets used, a little walk behind edger never gets used, a pull behind aerator that's junk. Ice melt. We used to do a lot of appliance stuff, so this is all copper cords. Power washer. That's another thing. I used to do a ton, not a ton, I'd do a lot of power washing. Something I kind of got out of. I still do it here and there, but not really that often. But there is a lot of the equipment, and then show you guys some more. Here's kind of the tool room. It's messy right now, but who cares? A lot of tools, tool chest. Drills are all not here for some reason. They're literally scattered everywhere around here. And then here's the shop garage part. This mower, I bought it because, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a stand-on mower back there. The engine blew on that. Same day I went out and bought this thing for $1,000, I think, or 500. Well, now it's screwed. My T3000 spreader sprayer, it's seen better days. I actually just picked this up this year, used. I think it was $800. Good deal, I think. A Gravely mower, a kayak for when, I don't know. A Time Master, which this thing, a lot of people give bad reviews on these, but I've had this for 3 years, I think, and this used to be. So a huge kind of flashback point and a pat myself on the back point is I didn't start with this. I started with a John Deere. I'll show you out there. There's 2 John Deere sitting out there. Well, for some reason, I ended up selling my truck, trailer, and mower. And I wanted to be more efficient, so I bought a little Ford Transit van, which I have a big Nissan van now, but I had a little Ford Transit van, and I bought this used. And it was just this, a weed eater, a handheld blower, and my van. And that's what I mowed out of for a whole year, commercial and residential. And then I got this, the Gravely 36-inch Pro Stand. And then there's 2 John Deeres out there I'll show you guys that are junk. I got screwed on pretty much both of them. And then this year we got this. Here ramps that I used to use. Bunch of old gas cans. This is a 50-gallon spraying tank for a truck with no agitator, so it's pretty much useless. That's my ramp for the van. It used to be in the back of my van, and then we converted the van to a delivery truck. Took the ramp out, never put it back in. Now that's what pulls my trailer, an old salt spreader that does not work. There's the tubing for the leaf vac. Then here's these pieces of junk. Neither of them work. Blown motor, blown everything. So we got to get that taken care of out in the way. The hood on that's open. But yeah, it's just a lot of cleaning up, organizing, and downsizing. Like straps on the ground. I don't know, a bunch of stuff. Some pre-emergent and a spreader. This wheelbarrow has not worked in like 3 years, or the handles are all cracked and stuff, and I don't know. It literally just stores old mower tires for some reason and random stuff. And then that Echo PB 9010 doesn't work. There's the old cover when I swapped the engine. I don't know why I kept that. And then just kind of a bunch of sprays, cleaning stuff. So we have the space. I keep a lot of stuff. That's my problem. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Obviously, that's an old backpack blower. It doesn't work. This doesn't work because a lot of guys that work for me, I don't think these ones work, but the ones back there don't work. That's a shell for a backpack. That thing just needs a new string, but it's a curve shaft, so I don't know why I'd even keep that. A lot of this stuff, the guys will just put straight gas in it, and that blows motors. So, but not theirs, so not their problem. Anyway, I'm gonna get that leaf vac out and work on it. I'll probably make a video about it. So thanks for watching, guys, if anybody did watch, and see you guys on the next one.